Also, Lavoi, there's going to be the revelation of Shem Yud Kevavke, the La'ela, higher than Seder Ishtalshus. Whereas what the Yidden had beforehand was the Gili of Seder Ishtalshus, what they will have, La'asad Lavi will be higher than Seder Ishtalshus. That's the idea of Bona Yerushalayim Havaya, and therefore Harayfel Shvur Elei, because this revelation of Shem Havaya that's higher than Seder Ishtalshus. And we explained that the idea of Shvuri Roife, Refuah, has to do with someone that's a Choyla. Choyla, we said, someone that's ill is Begimatri Memtez. He's ill because he's missing the 50th gate. He has only the 49 gates. So this 50th gate is connected with the revelation of Mashiach's times, like it says that it's going to be Arenu Niflois, level of Nun Plois. We're going to have the 50th level. That's also the level of Shem Yud Kevai Yud Kevavke de La'ela. So then, because of that revelation, that's going to be Shem Havai. That's why it's going to be Roifi. That's why it's going to be the level of Refuah. So now, in this theme and in this idea of the Gili of Shem Havai, that's higher than Seder Ishtalshus, he's going to connect it with the Haftorah of Parshas Vayischan. Ois Hey, page Tes, page Gimel, sorry. Yes, the Kasha there, Mashakasa Haftorah. We can connect this what it says the Haftorah of this week's Parsha. Nachmu Amigoymer. Comfort, comfort. The Eibusher is saying you should be comforted, my nation. This is the beginning of the 7 Haftorahs of consolation, that for the 7 weeks, from the week after, from the Shabbos after Tisha B'Av till the Shabbos before Rosh Hashanah, there are 7 weeks. Every one of those haftorahs are not directly connected with the parsha of the week, but rather they are haftorahs of nechama, haftorahs that deal with the consolation that Hashem consoles the Kosovo V'Dram, like it says in Avdram, which is a commentary on the Siddur, B'Shem HaMedrash, the name of the Medrash, the Bir Seder Haftorahs, explaining the order of the Haftorahs that we read. That he's going to explain how it's not just 7 different parts and 7 different Nevi'im that we talk about consolation of the Yidden, but there's like a conversation going on between Hashem and the Yidden, what Hashem tells us in this week's Haftorah, what Yidden respond in the Haftorah next week, what the week after that, as we'll see in a minute. It says, initially, the instruction of comfort my nation is addressed to the Nevi'im. The Navi is told, the Navi, Yeshaya Navi, is told, I want you to go ahead and comfort my nation. Hashem gives him a job. You, the Navi, Yeshaya Navi, should comfort my nation. And in response to that, Yidden say back to Hashem, in the Haftorah of Parshas Ekev, the Haftorah after the week of the Haftorah of this week, says, Vatoimer Tzion Azavani Hashem. Tzion, Yidden, Yerushalayim, Eretz Yisrael says that Hashem deserted me. In other words, you're sending me to the Nevi'im. We don't want the Nevi'im. I'm not going to become appeased by the comfort and consolation that the Navi gives. So there's a response to that. So he says, so now the Nevi'im return and go and say to the Eibishter, that the poor one, the one that's the stormy one, she's not being comforted. That meaning, that the Yidden were not comforted by our comfort, because they're saying, yeah, they're saying to Hashem, you sent us the Nevi'im. We're not happy with that. This Eibishter says in the following Haftorah, Anoichi hu menachemchem. that I am the one who's comforting you. So instead of sending the Nevi'im to do the comfort, so instead the Eibishter says, I am the one that's comforting you. The idea behind this is, in Yadua, it's known, Shasog is HaNevi'im, that the comprehension, the level that the Nevi'im reach in their particular, in the levels, Lamaila, it's from a ray of Atzilus, the way it's enclosed in the levels of Nihi, the most external spheres. And those most external spheres of Netzach Yisoid, the way they are in the worlds of Bri Yitzir Asiyah. And that itself, those worlds of Netzach Yisoid, I'm sorry, in those worlds of Bri Yitzir Asiyah, there's differences in the Nevi'im themselves. In this itself, there's different levels. That the Nevuah of Yeshaya and Navi came about through becoming enclosed in Netzach V'Hoid of the world of Bria. The Nevuah of Yechezkel Yidei Slapshus B'Netzach V'Hoid Yitzir. The Nevuah of Yechezkel is through becoming enclosed in Netzach V'Hoid of Yitzir. And the Nevuah of Zechariah Yidei Slapshus B'Netzach V'Hoid Asiyah. And the Nevuah of Zechariah and Navi is through becoming enclosed in the spheres of Netzach V'Hoid of Asiyah. Only the Nevuah of Moshe Rabbeinu. That his level is higher than all the other Nevi'im. All the other Nevi'im had said prophecy with Koi, like we said earlier. They said like this, which means a non-luminous lens. It's not it's something that you see directly. It's either you see a reflection through it like a mirror. Moshe, on the other hand, said prophecy by saying the word Zeh Hadavar Dibar Hashem. You could actually point at it. A luminous, clear lens, like we learned earlier, top of the last page of the Maimon. So, therefore, it was not a aura the way it became clothed in biyah, but it was from Netzach and Hoid Yisoid of Atzilus, Kefishin Nimshachim Derech Maiver, the way it's drawn down in a way of passing through. It's not a complete enclothing in the world of Bria. It's not in such a way that's completely enclosed over there. It's not completely embedded over there. In other words, it's not affected by it. Famous thing, the difference between Maiver and Islapshus. Maiver is when something passes through just to be able to reach over there. Islapshus means it becomes affected by it. So Moshe Rabbeinu's the revelation of that Chaydi Soida of Atzilus that came down to Moshe Rabbeinu just had to pass through Bri Yitzir Asiyah. Despite that, and Moshe Rabbeinu was from Atzilus, the way it only passed through Biyam. The Nevuah of Moshe Rabbeinu is only from the lower level of Shem Yud Kivav. That is the complaint of Knesset Yisrael. That it's not becoming appeased and it's not becoming satisfied and calmed down from the comfort of the Nevi'im, even if it would have been a Navi like Moshe. It wasn't that case, but even Moshe Rabbeinu was not enough for the Yid. Since the will and the desire of Knesset Yisrael is that there should be a revelation of Shem Yud Kei Vav Kei above. Like we mentioned before, Hashem accepts this complaint. He says, I am the one that's comforting you, consoling you. This means in addition to the comfort of the Nevi'im that Hashem tells, which is the first comfort of this upcoming week's Haftarah, Nachmu Ami, you should be comforted and comforted, my nation, Necham, B'Kiflayim, a double comfort. And how do we attain this double comfort? Through the avoid of tshuva, that we know that when a person does tshuva, he ba'ifin the kiflaim l'kashiyats in a way of a double strength, because when a person does tshuva, so then he has a stronger desire and urge to become close to Hashem. So everything is done with much more energy and much more passion in a doubly strengthened way. So therefore, because tshuva is done with double strength, and let's say the avoid of the tzaddik, so the resulting comfort is not a comfort of just once nachamu, but nachamu, a double comfort. So despite the fact that through the Nevi'im we already have attained the level of a double comfort, on top of that, in addition to this, there's also the comfort through Hashem Himself. He says, I am the one who comforts and consoles you. That's the revelation of Shem Yud Kei Vav Kei that's higher than Seder Ishtalshus that we said. That is something that's going to come loss and loving. That's why it says Anoichi, Anoichi. Anoichi goes on the level of Seder Ishtalshus, and then another time Anoichi, a second time Anoichi, shows that Shem Yud Kei Vav Kei, it's even higher than Seder Ishtalshus, because that's going to be the revelation of Mashiach's times. That's also why it says that I have beseeched, I have davened, I have begged, I have vayed. It says Veschanon daf. Why does it say specifically Veschanon? So we know one of the meanings of Veschanon means a free gift. What is that idea about a free gift? Through the level of tshuva, we come to a level of such a high level, it's considered a free gift. What's it mean, a free gift? It's such a level that's beyond Seder Ishtalshus, that there's no quid pro quo. We can't say, I've done this, therefore I've earned that. But through tshuva, we reach such a high level where it's what we get from there is considered a free gift. That's the revelation of Yud Kei Vav Kei above. The Rebbe concludes, so it should be for us. Immediately at the beginning of the 7 of consolation, we should go out of the constraints of Golos to the broadness and breadth of the Geula. And in such a way of Geula should come down all the 7 of consolation, till we enter from the 7 of consolation to the coming year. And we merit a sweet and good year, and everything that's necessary, and children and life, and below 10 handbreadths. We will now be changing to the other mimer.